Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving right into a paradigm-shifting framework that, honestly, completely redefines how true leaders handle catastrophic failure. We all face setbacks, right? But what if your approach to failure was literally the only thing holding you back? Our source material kicks off with this incredibly bold, uncompromising statement. There is no defeat in life. That completely shatters how we usually look at setbacks. Normally, when we hit a wall, we instantly label it a loss. But this framework, it challenges us to take the word defeat and just completely strip it out of our vocabulary entirely. So, what if failure was actually a myth? Just imagine a mindset where every single disaster, every mistake, or even a run of terrible luck is seen as a hidden opportunity that's just waiting to be unlocked. It sounds almost too optimistic, I know, but as you'll see, it is grounded in a really rigorous, highly practical philosophy. This whole concept stems from Invincible Thinking. It's a massive bestseller, and it's heavily read by top politicians and business leaders all over the world who are looking for a reliable framework for resilience. And let me tell you, it's not just some superficial success theory. It's essentially a profound operational manual for the human mind. At its core, Invincible Thinking is what we'd call an all-weather mindset. It means you're extracting valuable, actionable lessons from both your greatest successes and your absolute worst failures alike. It turns literally every life event into a stepping stone, making sure you never truly lose, no matter what the forecast looks like outside. Part 1. The origin of invincibility. Let's see how this forms the ultimate foundation of true leadership. The absolute core of this invincibility is visionary foresight. A true leader must have the foresight to guide people and give them genuine hope for the future, especially when things look incredibly bleak. They don't need a perfectly unblemished track record. They just need to stay unfazed by life's storms and actively extract a plus from every single negative situation. Like we just touched on, invincible thinking means learning those valuable lessons from both success and failure to chart your course forward. Part 2, the trap of excuses. When a storm hits, our first instinct is usually to play the victim. We want to blame others or blame destiny for our hardships, or we just sit around waiting for outside help to come save us. But true invincibility demands the exact opposite. It requires cultivating an independent, self-reliant spirit. Instead of blaming others or destiny, you have to look at the harsh realities head-on and just accept them, without constantly searching for a scapegoat. And by abandoning those excuses, a crisis is literally no longer a crisis. Instead, it becomes a continuous chain of chances. That disaster you were dreading, it's really just an unbroken sequence of opportunities designed to test your resolve and build up your strength. Part 3, reflection creates a leader. Okay, so theory is great and all, but you're probably wondering, how do we practically process failure when we are right in the thick of it? When you're hurting from a massive mistake at work or a sudden, brutal stroke of bad luck, how do you actually turn that pain into the plus we talked about earlier? Well, the process here is actually incredibly clear. Step 1, objectively accept reality. Don't fight the bad hand you were dealt. Step 2, find the hidden lesson within. Ask yourself, what is this specific failure trying to teach me right now? And step 3, immediately think of the next method. You brainstorm your next logical workaround, and you constantly strive to overcome your personal limits to bypass that bottleneck. The source uses this really fascinating biological metaphor of a white blood cell. When a bacterial threat enters your body, white blood cells don't run away, right? They open wide, swallow the threat whole, and digest it into nourishment. And that's exactly how we should treat hardship. When it arrives, we need to mentally open wide, take the problem in, and completely digest it to make ourselves fundamentally stronger. Which brings us to part 4, breaking your personal limits. To actually maintain this invincible thinking, we have to recognize the invisible ceilings we constantly build right above our own heads. Sometimes we mistake temporary physical exhaustion for an absolute dead end, or we blame external circumstances. Some of us even harbored this subconscious fear of achieving 100% success, and we end up actively sabotaging ourselves right before victory just out of pure anxiety. But here is the most empowering realization from the text. When you hit a wall, those limits are rarely a lack of raw ability. More often than not, they are a lack of wisdom and ingenuity. You don't necessarily need more innate talent, you just need a new idea. So, if you physically can't do more yourself, the wisdom lies in learning to trust and delegate to others, which completely shatters that current ceiling you were stuck under. Part 5. Life is a workbook. According to the source, we should adopt the mindset that life is a workbook. If we can just stop viewing life as this random, chaotic series of events, we can start seeing it as a highly customized curriculum. Every single page is filled with problems meticulously designed specifically for your personal growth.
So, hardships aren't some sort of cosmic punishment. They are just complex equations waiting for your unique solution. When you realize life is basically a series of tough academic questions, failure simply means you haven't solved the equation yet. That's it. You just turn the page, keep your pencil moving, and try a completely different formula.
Part 6, the indomitable spirit. By intentionally practicing this mindset over time, by swallowing hardships, refusing to make excuses, and treating your life as a workbook, you build literal psychological immunity to life's adversities. You forge what's called an indomitable spirit. It's this continuous, unyielding resolve and an unshakable mind that absolutely no setback can destroy, built entirely through your continuous exposure to failure. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative question to really challenge you. Life pretty much guarantees that your next crisis is inevitable. The wind is going to turn against you again at some point. So when it does, will you let it break you? Or will you completely digest that crisis and use it to grow? The choice and the workbook is entirely yours.